Hi everyone, my name is Kyofug and welcome to another lecture. Today's lecture is going to be about manifesting your dreams. This is all about using your brain power and all of your brain cells, or at least a lot of them, in order to help train yourself to think more positively, to visualize what you're going to become and what you're going to achieve in order to reach those goals, dreams, aspirations, etc. in real life. Now, this topic is a little shifty because there's a lot of pseudoscience out there, but there's also a lot of science to back it up. Also, logically, it just makes sense. If you're telling yourself you're going to do a thing, you're making yourself more confident that it's going to happen, you're more likely to actually do the things you need to do to make it happen. The whole idea of, habit change and all things like that start with identity. So this is the identity part of that is, but turned up to 11. It's like, instead of being like, I am a person, let's say you want to build a brick house. You're like, I'm a person who builds stuff. You're like visualizing what it's going to look like when you finish the house. Each step, you're thinking about it. You're writing, I'm going to be the best brick house builder. I'm going to be the best brick house builder, and like things like that. So let's go ahead and get into our title card here. I would like to share, I just got this marker here. This is the Posca PC7M, and it's their biggest bullet tip marker. And gosh, it is just a dream. It's exactly what I've been wanting. Big markers are almost always chisel or square on the top, and I need a freaking bullet tip. And this thing is fantastic. It is worth the high price tag. Only had 2 at my local Michael's, and I snagged both of them. All right, let's get started. All right, to reiterate, my name is Kyofug. That is spelled K-Y-O. I always put a dot in the middle. F-U-G. And today's topic is manifesting your dreams. I'm gonna give this another little shake here because I just got it from the store and only just pumped it, so I don't think it's quite as juicy as it. Oh yeah, now it's getting juicy. There we go. Now we're juiced up. All right, Kyofug, and we're doing manifesting your dreams today. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our next pagerino. Here we go. Manifesting your dreams. Now, first, what you have to do is figure out what your dream is, what the thing you're striving to do is. Now, the thing is some people, okay, you'd be surprised, there are some people out there who simply do not have a big dream. They simply exist, okay? And that's okay. And if you are at home, that may be you, and that's okay. These videos are just fun to watch in general. So you're not obligated to become big art person 9000 or big brick house builder 9000, okay? You're not obligated to do that. So you might just be this normal Anderson. In that case, you have different things to worry about, or at least your view on life may be a little bit different. And that's the thing, is that being like this is okay. And a lot of people get it twisted. You see, they think it's like, okay, I need to be Mr. Moneybags. I need to be Mr. Big shot guy, right? Do you think you need to be that? I would disagree. I don't think you need to be that, because not everyone has that need to be a big shot. Whether that be, excuse me, how vile. Whether that be you want to be big money man, or you want to be an actor, or you want to be the best swordsman, you don't have to be like that. Okay? It's not required. And some people may even see it as almost a curse. Some might even see this as a curse, because if you could have been born and been just this guy and been perfectly happy and satisfied living a normal life, hey, I just want to, get my paycheck, take care of my family, go for a walk with the dog, watch a movie or something, read a book, go to sleep. I'm happy. I do that for a while. Maybe I, eventually build a little shed in my backyard or something, and then I die eventually. Some people, for them, that's all they need. That's it. So instead of thinking that you're the cat's meow for being like Mr. I want to do something great, it's almost sort of a curse, because now you're destined to at least want to do this thing. You definitely want to do this thing. And now it's either you go do this impossible task, or you're dissatisfied, or you have to cope with it somehow in another way. And that can be quite difficult. So you're not like a better person for wanting to grind whatever the thing you're trying to grind is, or the thing you're trying to, your dream. It doesn't make you a better person that you're grinding after it. It just means you're a different person. And that's what you want to do. Now, we still need people like this to make the cool art and to do the big things and whatever. But it's not like they're better than anyone else. That's their path. But they're not better than the guy who's just running a hot dog stand who's just chilling. Just want to make sure that's very clear to anyone watching at home, okay? Let's go ahead and move on to our next page. Now that we got that out of the way, of what the basic layout is, and that some people may not necessarily have a big dream, we need to figure out what your big dream is. Okay? What is it? For me, it's this. It's having an eyeball. Now, my dream, I'd say, is being an artist. I am an artist. But what kind of artist? I'm going to be this generation's artist. I'm going to be the artist for the people. I'm going to be the people's artist. Markers for all. Boogie down economics. You guys know my platform. You know what I'm about. That's what I want to do. I want to spread my love for existence and for creativity and just my creative juices and my boogie and woogie and fun and creativity and boom, ba-boom, get that out there, okay? And I want to do that on the big time scale. Here, let me show you. This is my art career. This is scale. That's how big that guy is. He's 50 miles tall. Usually a head like that would be like a few feet. So that's what I want. How did I figure that out? Years of wandering around. I think the majority of it is running. What do you mean? I think most of us know, usually, deep down, what that big thing is. But the thing is that we're scared. I think we're scared little babies on the inside. At least I know I was. And I think we're scared. I think we're scared of our dreams because actually going after them is so scary, and there's so much uncertainty, and there's so much risk, and it's going to require seemingly endless amounts of work because there's no guarantee on return. It's just lots and lots of work, and oh God, no, what if I fail? And here's where the manifesting comes in. You think you're not good enough. You think you couldn't achieve it, even though you know you need to do it. That's where it really feels like a curse, okay? But the secret is that you can do it, and you're going to do that by using the power of your brain and manifesting. So it turns out you don't need to compromise. Here's your brain. And look, ta-da! Look at your brain go. You don't need to compromise on your dream. Your brain is just sucking at existing, okay? You need to make your brain stronger so that it can actually get going, get ticking and clicking, so that it can help you get to your dream. For me, it's this, but I always knew it was this. I just never thought scared little guy could actually do it. Now, yes, takes practice, takes trial and error, but that's all part of the thing. All it is forward motion. All it is going from scared guy to big dream guy. All it is forward motion. You just keep going. Now, you might say, oh, but won't that result in bad stuff? Going forward without thinking? I didn't say you didn't think. That's part of it. It's just one foot in front of the other foot. It's one foot in front of the other. It's just going. Okay, going. This doesn't work. Reassess. Get burnt out. This sucks. Try this thing. As long as you're just like chugging, as long as you keep getting up, as long as you keep doing the darn thing, I promise you it will happen. And I promise you, if you stop doing it, you won't achieve your dreams. It's that simple. I know that seems like incredibly on the nose, like, okay, do the thing, the thing happens, don't do it, it doesn't happen. That doesn't make sense. But that is how it works. I can guarantee you if you stop doing it, it's not going to happen. And I can guarantee you it will happen if you do it. If you keep doing it. And then if you say it didn't happen, it's like, well, what happened? It's like, and it's like, then you stopped, right? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, well, what about people who die? What about people who try a bunch and they die? Maybe from an accident, or maybe just they keep trying, nothing happens, and then they're dead. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I mean, it could happen to me, right? Then they stopped. It's not their fault. If they were trying max effort and then they just died and they're due to their circumstances, they didn't get to be their dream, then they fulfilled their mission. They did everything they could, right? Every single thing, if they did everything they could to achieve their dream, and they went on the right path of trying to be happy, healthy, successful, and have that big impact in the world and do their mission that they knew they had to do, that they felt deep down inside and unexplainable, just like, this is my fate, this is my mission, this is what I must do. I must go be the great architect. I must go save whales in the South Atlantic. I must go do this. I must go do that. Whatever it is, if you pursue it, even if you don't achieve it, you achieved it. Because all you have to do is go forward with tenacious effort. That is what you have to do. You just have to go. Because if you don't, it won't happen. If you do, it will happen. It's very simple. And you can explain it away. You can be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Here's you explaining. You can be like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, this. Oh, the art market, this. Oh, social media, this. Oh, this. Now, that's fine if your dream is to be a media critic or something like that, or you're a yapper, if that's what you want to do, God bless. But don't think that you can explain away what's the circumstances, can explain away your dream and pack it up. Okay? Because that won't work. You have to go after it. Now, if you say, but I'm okay. Here's you being all zen. I'm okay, though, without my dream. I can let it go and live a peaceful life. Then guess what? Let's go back a second. Then guess what? You're this guy, and that's okay. Sorry I draw him. I mean, they're both weird, so it doesn't matter. I was going to say sorry for drawing him weird, but they're both weird. The dream guy and the normal guy. Then you're this guy. You're a normal guy who doesn't have a big dream. That's okay. You don't have to be that. I think that our society says a lot. You have to be this. And maybe one day you figure out you've been chasing you don't want to chase. Then you've never been that person. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't feel like you need to do it, and you keep going back to maybe I should quit, and you don't feel that fire in you, or you don't keep coming back to it, and it's just it's just sitting on the shelf collecting dust for years and years, it's never too late, but it's also always too late at the same time. Maybe you are kind of done, and maybe you never really wanted it in the first place. But think of that as a positive way. If you really accept that as the truth and you realize that you don't have to do some giant thing, then guess what that means? You're off the hook. Genuinely. If you're not quitting, if you actually were on the wrong path and you're just like, I just want to live my life. Guess what? You're done. You're done. Go get a slice of pie at the coffee shop. Read a Stephen King novel and just like pet your cat. Go to a protest and, wash your car. Just be a person. Chill out. You don't have to hustle, bump, and grind and go crazy because, some guy on Instagram yelled at you to. You can just chill. But if you do have that bug, like I said, we need to make sure that happens. Now I think we've gotten enough explaining of the basics here. Let's go ahead and get into the actual manifesting. Now there's no like woo-woo like spells or anything, or I'm not going to tell you some stuff that like it's all just very literal. It's what it is. It's not, if you do this, you'll align the cosmic universe. You can try and add a narrative as to how this works. You can go the science route and be like, well, brain chemistry wise, this actually works as this. Or you can be like cosmic energy, da-da-da. However you want to explain it. If you want to say there's an alien, okay? And every time you do like, you manifest and you visualize, this alien is just putting more like little tokens, little you win, like your name. Like for me, it would be Killfug tokens into the bowl of winners over and over every time I do it. And he's on over the planet and he's throwing them in there. If that's what I need to tell myself for the manifestation, for me to stick to it, great. If I need to tell myself maybe instead, if I need to tell myself, oh, well, actually they did a study and I read a thing that actually your neural chemistry and your brain waves and this goes to this, and quantitative research that if you visualize something 2 times a day, then you're more likely to and I'm actually, whatever boring nerd stuff, this is me dead because nerd stuff killed me. Blah. But if that's how you need to manifest, if that's what you need to do, it doesn't matter. It works. But what I like to do is explain it just in a logical way. You don't need a narrative. In my opinion, you don't need a narrative. It just makes sense. Okay? If you want to get to that big dream, which we'll illustrate that by doing like a really happy face. Okay? If you want to get to that big dream, you have to do the thing. What does that mean? Doing the thing is doing your drawings, going out to playing concerts, doing it, doing the grind. In this day and age, you're on the social medias, it's doing the thing. Okay? And if you're doing that thing which will lead to the success. Now, the thing is that you need to make sure you believe in yourself. You're pretty much your own coach. Here's your coach. Here's Coach Timmy in your brain. Coach Timmy is going to bark at you and say, go you. Wow. He's saying, go you. Because he wants you to be successful. Okay? And when you hear this, it makes you excited. It makes you think you can do it. If you tell yourself enough times, because here's what happens. I'm going to be a little bit of a science nerd about it. Well, not really, because this is like very caveman way of explaining this, and not really how it works in terms of like neuroscience. But I don't know neuroscience, but I know generally how this works. Work with me. We'll just do a circle. This little circle is a brain cell. And pretty much what happens, or a neural pathway, we'll start here. Boop. Boop. It's like a neural pathway, brain cells, and they, boop, goes to there, goes to there. Now, what happens is, if you believe you're an artist and you're going to be successful, you're constantly treading these pathways in your brain, right? That are getting stronger and stronger and more well tread. And you will return to them more frequently. You're pretty much creating patterns in your brain and in your subconscious. So that when you go to decide, what am I going to do today? And let's say you want to do the art grind, you're more likely to think, oh, I want to do this. I want to do the brush. Okay. You're also, when you meet the snooty person, when you get opportunities, when you get the snooty person, you will have the confidence, okay, to not only one, talk them up, but two, if you're confidently like, you got this, you will also have the confidence to create a really dope picture, and you won't choke, because you're like, I know I can do this. This is my destiny. It's going to happen. I'm going to be a little bit cringy. I just started watching One Piece with my partner, which is the show that has this guy. The scary man with the hat, okay? Almost everyone in that show is hyped the frick up on their dream. It's a great show to watch to get motivated. But with Luffy, for example, he wants to be king of the pirates. He says he's going to do it all the time. Everyone talks to, now, obviously, he's super strong and powerful. It's a show. Calm down. Now, he did get there through practice. But anyways, pretty much if you keep telling people that, if you keep saying it out loud, it will create these pathways in your brain. So you're constantly thinking about it. You become that. By saying it enough times, you become the thing. For example, with actors, you will hear all the time people who aren't even method actors, people who are just normal Joe Andy actors, okay? They will have serious mental health effects from playing a character and getting immersed in a character. Because if you're saying that thing enough times, if you're doing it enough, it will start to mess with your brain. And then you will start to actually do that darn thing. Okay? So if what you're doing is you're constantly reading books, autobiographies by artists, and you're watching footage of them paint, and you're going out and painting, and you're thinking as an artist, and you're telling people you're an artist, while also still doing the darn thing, then, buddy, you're on your way to some freaking success. Here's a visualization I like to do. This is less a visualization of here's exactly what's going to happen. This is more of a visualization of a sort of, I almost said visualization again. This is me personifying and like taking the battle, internal struggle in my head and turning it into something I can see in my brain. So instead of normally visualization would be, okay, I see myself walking up on stage, singing at the piano, I do really good, and then people give me a lot of money and roses, and it's beautiful. I can smell the roses, I can see the lights, da da da. What I'm talking about is I imagine myself in a boxing ring. Okay? Stick with me here, folks. I imagine myself in a boxing ring. And who am I boxing but my former self? Okay? There's me. There's my hair. All right? I'm in the ring and I'm boxing against my former self. Here's me. And my former self has long hair. And is really sad. And I used to weigh a lot more. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to weigh a lot more, folks. Okay? I'm not being a jerk. The reason I got so heavy is because of my body doesn't like to be there. And I was treating my body badly. And it was in a really rough state. And it was kind of a way of self-harm, was binge eating and things like that. So that's what my old self looked like. Now, when I'm in the ring and I'm fighting this guy, say I'm getting ready for work in the morning, and I have all these choices. I have all these moments, sticking points where it's like, you got to get out of bed. You got to get in the shower. Don't use the phone, right? Don't use the phone. There's all this stuff, all these little moments. Instead of thinking, oh, come on, and like if I hit any sticking point, I visualize this fight. I visualize in this corner with my former self all the people who have screwed me over. I see all the people who have done me wrong, who've done me bad, and they're all rooting for this guy in the corner. And then I see over here in my corner, my true self, my most loving and most rational and most perfect self, which is always something to work towards. Never truly obtainable, but always worth working towards, is in this corner with all the people who love and support me in this corner, or maybe even just people who have said nice things to me in the past. All the goodness is on this side. And I'm duking it out, okay? I'm duking it out with this past self. And I visualize, for example, this is going to sound really dorky, but I'm just being real with you guys today. I am real with you every day, but this is 40 real going on. Ice. Here's a block of ice. I've been doing this thing where at the end of my showers, I'm trying to get myself used to cold exposure. I've been doing a ice cold shower at the end of each one, just for a little bit, just to get a little bit more exposure each time. Full blast cold though, not like a mix, like full blast cold. Hot shower at first, but then, then that. And each time I feel that hesitance. I get that scared feeling. I feel it now because I point it to the head towards the wall, and I point the head towards the wall, and I feel as the water, I turned off the hot and I turned the cold all the way up. And I can feel on my feet the water trickling down. I can feel how cold it is. And it's making me really nervous. And I can touch it with my hand. It almost hurts how cold it is. And I get this feeling of like, oh God, like, I don't know. It's cold this morning. I've been kind of stressed. I don't know. But I visualize this. And what I see is that guy in the other corner. And he sees I'm stumbling and he's coming in for a combination. That bastard in the other corner. He's like, oh, I got him. I got him this round. And what I do is, instead of being like, okay, if I get in and I get really cold, I don't think, okay, I did it. At least I did, okay, good. I didn't procrastinate. I didn't wimp out this time. Good. Okay. I think of it as, let's go. And the crowd goes wild. Boom. I'm literally seeing it as soon as I step in that water, and I just face it, get it on my head, on my back, on my pits, like all the worst spots for the cold, They get right in there, get all over me, and I'm just in the cold water. And if I try and control my breathing and try and be still and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I think in my head, I see that I'm boom, boom, boom. I'm getting my licks in on this guy, because that guy would never do that. He would take a steamy hot shower. He'd take too long. He'd jerk off before he got in. He'd take, watch a YouTube video when he gets out on his phone. That's what that guy would do. Not this guy. And so when I'm getting those wins, when I'm working on my art, or when I'm exercising, or when I'm cooking a meal, or I'm going for a walk, I'm like, bam, bam, bam. I'm getting my licks in. I'm punching this guy. And same thing helps. Instead of thinking of it as, I did this thing, it's the end of the world. If you slip and this guy starts to get you and get some hits in, it's just one round. We're going the distance. We're going the distance, folks. We're going all the way to round 15. Okay? Rocky said, no one's ever gone the distance with Creed. If I can just go that distance, I'll know that I'm not just another bum from the neighborhood. Okay? He just wanted to go that distance, and that's all you have to do. That's what all this is about. You don't have to knock this guy flat on his ass, because he's a tough opponent. Okay? You probably have a version of yourself like this in your head that you're battling against. All your worst tendencies, your trauma, and all the hate you've gotten, and all the hate you give yourself. And you're battling that. Okay? You don't focus on getting him on the floor, and then when you're on round 3 and he's still standing and you're like, oh crap, you're like this guy, you're like, oh no, how am I gonna? Nope. You just get your points in. Each hit is a point. Stay up, keep your guard up, stay sharp, listen to your coach, keep going. Boom, your coach in the corner, that's like you, the version of you that like manifests, that tells you you got this, right? That's your coach barking at you in the corner. You go back, you sit in your corner, all those people who love you, you're visualizing all these folks over here who love you so much, and they're in your corner, and all the people who just, maybe someone held the door for you or helped you pick up your bag, all those nice human beings, they're in there like, come on man, you got this, give you some water, help you, they'll cut on your head, boom, 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 make sure your gloves are good, put your mouthpiece back in, push you back in for the next round. Where you go in and maybe you scroll on your phone for a long time, and equivalent, that would be this guy getting off a crazy combination, boom, boom, boom. But if you snap out of it, and then you go and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do that walk now. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm not gonna bring my phone or listen to anything. I'm gonna go for a walk and experience nature and get some exercise. And boom, you go do that. Bam, you're getting right back. You're getting your points back. You're getting even. In a boxing match, they hit you, you got to hit back so you can get your point. So you stay even on the scorecard. So you're getting body shots in, boom, boom, boom. And then guess what? No matter who won at the end of the day, when that bell rings, if you went that distance, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who won. If you really went that distance and you went to your corner each time and everyone said, keep going, you said, I will, you've won. I can tell you've won. And they'll really appreciate that you kept going and that you did it. This silly stuff may seem like bullshit, but I'm being serious right now. Whether you want to start a taco truck, or you want to start your own construction business, or you just want to get really good at your job, you work at your dad's local pizza restaurant and you deliver for them and you do the deliveries, and you just want to make sure when you inherit the business that you do everything you can to make it work and to give back to the community and keep the recipe up to date and make sure you're sticking to the tradition. You're focused all on this thing. It doesn't matter what your thing is. If you have that calling, if you have that thing you need to do, you need to do it. It doesn't matter if you fail. It doesn't matter if you gave 100% and you actually did what you loved. The world will thank you for it. You may say, oh, you're like me. Maybe you're like me. I just draw silly pictures. Here's a silly picture. I just draw silly pictures. What's that, dude? There's people starving. There's horrible things going on in the world. Our world is organized in a way that causes so much death and destruction and exploitation. And you're drawing silly pictures. I'm not saying that's a get out of jail free card. I'm not saying you just do that and you don't have to do anything else. But whether you're doing that, or like I said, I don't know why I keep thinking of this. Maybe I just want a hot dog. I don't know. You run a hot dog stand. Maybe you run a store that does phone repair. Maybe you walk dogs. Maybe you walk dogs and you want to be a dog groomer. Maybe you want to be a Let's Player. You want to have a really big Let's Player channel. You grew up watching Markiplier, and you want to play games and make people laugh. Listen, any of these things, when you do it honestly, and it's really what you are called to do, and you love it, and you do it with all your heart, the world will thank you. And we need you to do that. Because if you can think of the most perfect person, the lawyer that does all pro bono, they work as a nurse on the weekends, they donate all their blood, and they're the most morally pure person on earth. They still need to grab a bite to eat onto where they're going, right? They still need to relax at the end of the day, and maybe they're like reading a comic book or something. Are we going to take away that person's? They're going to have a broken phone. Their dog's not going to be groomed. They can't watch the new Let's Play. They love to watch Let's Plays. They can't watch their new favorite creator. They can't get a hot dog on the way home. They can't go to an art gallery and see some awesome art or get a shirt with a cool art piece on it. You're really going to do that to that person? You see what I'm saying? You think, oh, this perfect moral person, oh, I should be that. I don't want to waste my time with this, my silly dream, when the world is happening. No, this is part of it. In this perfect world you're thinking of, we have all these things. Now, maybe you need to raise money for a certain charity as a Let's Player. Maybe you need to groom dogs for free for people who maybe have a CNI dog or something like that, or a dog for, help disabled people. You do give them free grooming for their dogs. Or maybe same thing with, community support. If people can't afford it, you have a program for people with a certain income. You fix their phone for free. Or maybe at the hot dog stand, you give away food, you make food for the homeless people around where you live, and you may give them free hot dogs. Or for an artist, maybe you donate your abilities and you help make, materials for a campaign for a local union or something, and you make materials for you make graphic design, you draw pictures for them. You can do a little bit extra to make sure you're really doing what you need to do to contribute to society and to help people. But just doing the thing itself with pure intention and with love, folks, that's what we need from you. As long as what you're doing isn't directly harmful, or, yes, indirectly harmful wouldn't be good either. But everything's indirectly harmful in a way. A lot of things are. But I mean something like that's, you're not like selling weapons or something very ridiculous. That is obviously bad. If you want to draw your pictures, if you want to sell your hot dogs, if you want to make a cool new Photoshop alternative that's free, that's better than GIMP, and that's what you want to do, and you'll figure it out. We need you to do that. We need you to follow your dream. And we need you to do it with tenacity. We need you to do it with persistence. And we need you to do it with love. And we need you to go to the distance. And if you don't make it, if you get to round 15 and you didn't win, but you still gave your whole self into it, you put all your effort into it, and you make it to that round, and the round 15, the bell rings, we will still cheer for you. Because you won. You went the distance. No one's ever been the distance with Creed. Let's go ahead and wrap up here, folks. To restate, my name's Kyofug. That's spelled K-Y-O. Put a dot in the middle. F-U-G. Today's lesson: manifesting your dreams. I'm going to keep it brief. Thank you so much for viewing this lecture, and I really hope you learned something. I truly can't express enough how thankful I am that people are following me and engaging with my work and loving it, because I know I love it. And this is my dream, is to be the artist for the people, Boogie Down Economics, Artman 9000. and get that collab with Vans and go all the way. And by following me and engaging with the work, you're part of that story. And I really, really appreciate it. And I will keep working hard for you guys. And I hope with your dream that you also get there and you also continue. Despite all the millions of setbacks that will come your way, you keep getting up and you go the distance. And all those normal Andys who don't have a big dream, God bless you. You keep the world turning. We need you too. Again, my name's Killfug. This has been Manifesting Your Dreams, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.